Yeah, okay. So whatever we have covered, like almost we have completed on Jenkins. So the advanced part I'm going to cover today, that is the shared library. Okay, Jenkins shared library and upload the artifacts into the artifactory. Okay, so those two topics we will cover it today, and we'll finish off Jenkins today itself, and from tomorrow we'll continue with Ansible. Okay, so what is this Jenkins shared library and why we need to use it? Okay, again, so whatever I'm going to tell today, what we are working on the real time in the company's project. Okay, whatever the project we are working, most of the people they actually work on this Jenkins shared library. Okay, so let's first discuss what is Jenkins shared library, then how we can implement these things, how we can integrate in our project build. Okay, that we'll discuss today. So let me share my screen. Okay, so let's see Jenkins shared library. Okay, so what is this Jenkins shared library? So Jenkins shared library is a concept of having common pipeline code in the version control system that can be used by any number of pipelines just by referencing it. That means like when we do automations, right? When you do automations, what purpose you do automations? What aim you keep it, and then you do the automations. The thing is, we are making the automations to easy our manual tasks, right? So, and that automations, that code, whatever you are writing, that should be used by multiple teams, multiple projects can be referenced that one. Okay, then there is the benefit of automation, automate all the tasks. If you just automate only to do the single task, if you do automate for single task, then only the single project or single task by the team can be executed. No other team can be used that one. Okay, so what we are going to do it in Jenkins file library, we are going to write our common pipeline code which can be used for multiple projects, pipeline projects, or also can be used by other teams. They can reference your code to automate their project. That's a very useful concept, and we are going to see this is a little bit advanced. That every companies they're using it. Okay, and here we'll learn how to write, and everything will write in Groovy only. Okay, Groovy script. So let's see. So Jenkins library is a concept of having a common pipeline code in the version control system that can be used by any number of pipelines just by referencing it. So multiple teams can use the same shared library for their team also. Only they have to call the particular method. So we are going to create different classes, different methods, functions, so that that can be called by multiple teams if they need that functionality or that task to be executed. Okay, so here are the very simple folder structure of the Jenkins library. So simple folder structure I have been given here, like suppose this is the name of the shared library. This is the name of the shared library, and under this we should have three folders called vars, source, and resources. So we have to design like this the folder structure. This is how it will work. Okay, so one second, let me just explain more about this folder structure and how we'll see it. So if you see this vars folder, so what is the use of this vars folder? So vars folder, this is a directory holds all the global shared library code that can be called from a pipeline. So whatever Groovy code, whatever the Groovy methods or classes you are going to write, everything you'll write inside the vars folder. All the files you'll be kept on the vars folder, and that vars folder will be a global shared library code repository that can be called from a pipeline, from any pipeline. Okay, and it has all the library files with a dot groovy extension. That means we are going to write the groovy files. Okay, and what this source folder contains, it is added to the class path during every script compilation. We can add custom Groovy code to extend our shared library, code. If you want to add some different functionality, okay, to your existing code, so you can add all this into the source folder to make it work in a different way. And then it comes the resources folder. What it happens, the resources folder contains all the non-groovy files. That means the files which can be like in the JSON file or YAML file or XML file or text file, which you can just add some variables, or you can add some kind of details which is required by the main global library code. Okay, so this is all the non-groovy files required for your pipelines can be managed in this folder. So this is how the folder structure, and this is the meaning of the shared library. It's very simple. It's a concept of having common pipeline code in the version control system that can be used by any number of pipelines just by referencing it. So it's very simple and straightforward, the meaning, right? So let's see how we can create the Jenkins share library. And again, what it says, code in the version control system. That means we are going to create the Jenkins share library in the GitHub remote repository. Okay, so let me do that. First, what we have to do, we have to create a repository of Jenkins share library. Okay, so let me go my repositories. Okay, so I have a Jenkins share library created. Okay, if you see here, you can simply create. Let me just increase the font a little bit. uh, okay, so if you see here, I have just created Jenkins share library, and you can see the folder structure. I have created vars, source, and resources. Okay, so if you see this var folder, as I told, this var folder should contains the Groovy scripts or Groovy files. And these files, the file name itself we can call as a method. So build is a method, deploy is a method. Suppose tomorrow or in your project you need multiple functions to be created, like different steps will have different tasks. We don't want to keep all the tasks in one file. Instead, what we can do, we can just break up the tasks and create different files, Groovy scripts, and that we can call as per our need. Okay, so if you see this one Groovy script, it's very simple. I have just created as def call. This is a method of, this is how we can write a Groovy functions. Okay, so I had already shared a link for the Groovy, right? You just follow that one. If you see, nobody is familiar with any kind of new scripting or languages or anything. The thing is, if you're strong in your basics, your fundamentals, then any languages will not be a barrier for you. You can just go through the documentations and you can write it, as long as you can think about the logics. Okay, and you can think about the logics, any kind of languages, you just go for the documentation, put it what you need, search for it from the internet, you can get it. And you should know what is your requirement. That is the first thing. If you don't know the requirement, then you will be lost, right? You will be finding something and you will not be getting the exact answer for that. Okay, so okay, let's discuss about this. So the vars folder, I have kept few scripts here. And if you see this resources folder, I have just created one test.json file, which will have some kind of information. Okay, configurations or libraries or anything, you can put it here. Okay, now first thing is you have to create a Jenkins share library, and you guys know very well how to create it. Okay, so let me show you and let me create one for you, then I can delete it. You go to the repositories and you can see here new, right? Just go here and give a repositories name, like suppose I can give mine Jenkins library, or I can give my Jenkins share library. Anything you can give my Jenkins share library. So descriptions, anything you can give, let it public, create repository. Okay, good. So quick, if you have done this kind of this, okay, no problem. Let's go here. So my Jenkins library is now ready. What I'm going to do now in master, I'm going to add one file here. Create new file. Okay. Suppose I first want to create, suppose the vars folder. Vars, sorry, not cars. Vars. So if you give slash, automatically it will create a folder. Okay, vars. Then give a file name. Suppose I want to do some scanning, so I can create a method called scan.groovy. Scan.groovy, and write some function here. Suppose I call def call. So I can write it here. Simple. I'm just writing. Echo. Okay, execute the scan. Simple, just printing method. I just added it. Let's save it. Okay, so I created one script. So based on the requirement, you can write a number of scripts in this vars folder. So let's go ahead and create one more. So only single vars folder also sufficient. If you don't want to keep source and resources, that's also fine. It's not like you have to create all three folders. It is not mandatory. The mandatory thing is the vars folder, which will contain all the global cell library codes. Okay, so you can add it. I already have added, I showed you, so I'm not going to add here now. So once you create the cell library in the GitHub, okay, what we can do, we can set off how to reference this sad library in our Jenkins. So the thing is, you have to do two ways. I'll show you how we can set up all this. The first thing is, go to manage Jenkins. Okay, go to configure system. The system is a little slow here. 1 second. Okay, so let's go down somewhere. You'll find some global pipeline libraries. Pipeline. Okay, global pipeline code. You'll find somewhere in the below. Okay, so global pipeline libraries. So I had already set off this. Let me delete as this is not required. Let's delete this. Okay. Okay. Now you'll see a section like this: global pipeline libraries in your Jenkins configure system. Okay. Now what you have to do? You have to just add it. Click on add and give the library name. Okay, what is the library name? We just created the library name as called my Jenkins side library. Okay, I can give this one, or I can give whatever I want to use. I can give that way also. So better, just for our understanding, and not to remember forget everything whenever you're writing, just give whatever the repository's name is there. You can just put it there, not a problem. Okay, so the name I gave it as say library, and the default version, okay, the version is something is nothing but your branches, or the which version you want to run the Jenkins library. So here we have only one branch called master, right? So what we can do here, just go ahead and give the master. Default version is the master, so leave it. And here you can see retrieval method, the legacy method, and one is the modern method. So legacy one is the old one, the old way to do, and we are now going to learn this modern SCM. Okay, so click on this modern SCM, and we'll see different source code management options. So we'll just go for Git. Just give the project repository. So what do you have to give this project repository? Just clone this one, copy this link, okay, not clone, copy this link, paste it here, okay. As this public, it is not required any credentials. Simple things, nothing you have to do, only just set up like this. You must enter a name. So what I entered a name on the right, library. Okay, what I can little bit twist here, my Jenkins library. Okay, so what happens here, it when I gave this one, right, then it found that the repository name, whatever is matching here. That's why it says like, don't give the repository name, give a name. So that means you have to give a different name than the repository one, right? So here I've given us my Jenkins library, but normally it should not be the case. But why it is? Let me copy again and paste it. Okay, so it is taking only, no problem. Now save it. Okay, so let's go and check again. Manage Jenkins, configure system. Okay, search for library. Okay. So here I have added all the required informations. Like, okay, now this is done. The configuration part is done. Now let's create a project, and we are going to use this shared library in our project. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, just go ahead and create new item, and I'll show you two projects today, a pipeline and multi-branch pipeline, how we can do the setups. Okay, suppose I give just I can say as shared lib library demo. Okay, shared library demo, just click on the pipeline because this is always will be a pipeline job. Okay, and create. Okay, okay, so what are we going to do here? I'm just not going descriptions, nothing I'm giving here, just go for this pipeline descriptions here. Okay, so pipeline from SCM git. Okay, give the repository. So I'm going to use the code. Okay, I'm going to use the project repository. Now we created our Jenkins shared library. That is different totally. Don't get confused here. Now I'm going to use my project which I want to build it, right? Which I want to automate it. So I'm suppose I'm going to write, and same thing also you have to write about this Jenkins file. So this project, when you are going to write, so you created a repository and all the source and required details are there, okay, in this one. And what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to write the Jenkins file. Okay, so in this Jenkins file, how you have to write, that's also very important. So let's go ahead, create here Jenkins library. Okay, so here what you can see here, I have retained a Jenkins file for previous class. Okay, let me just edit it. So here we have to edit this Jenkins shared library, right? So what is this shared library? This is nothing but the name whatever we provided in the configurations, right? So what we provided, I think we provided as my Jenkins. We can copy it from here. Uh, my Jenkins shared library. I can copy this. Go here. Not this one. Okay, just remove these. Okay, how you'll write, let me remove this line. This line is very important, guys. What you have to do, you can simply write at the rate. Remember, before writing the code, pipeline code, you have to write at the rate, then library, at the rate library. Okay, so within the bracket we have to give the library name. So what is the library name we have set up? Okay, and then what we can do, space and underscore. So that means whatever is giving in the library, that will take from here and it ends over here. So this will be treated as the shared library, and it is the referencing, this library is getting referenced here in this pipeline. Okay, so what we are going to do now, so simple pipeline code, I already have told you how you can just write it, the simple pipeline code. But here if you see here the stages, here one simple stage I have created, and here the stage whatever I have created, here I have given a suppose build. This is the build stage. So this is my previous classes. So I can remove this one. Let me delete it. So what method we have created here, only in the vars folder we have created only scan. We have created only scan. Let me create one more called build .groovy, and that we can just put it here. Build. Okay. So let me add one more file. Create new file. It's called build.groovy. Okay, so simple things, dev all. Okay, then let's commit. Let's go ahead and create one more script that's called deploy. Okay, deploy dot, the syntax always groovy. Okay, and so I created three methods here, three scripts: build, deploy, scan. Okay, so let's add it here. So instead of, see here in the code scanning, I have to just remove this part. Okay, then remember, whenever you are calling this, it should be under the script, because we are not writing the, we are not using the scripted type, we are using the declarative way of writing the Jenkins file. We are not using the scripted way. But how, that is the question also, guys. In interview you will get the questions like, in the declarative method, in the declarative type, how you can write groovy syntax, how you can write groovy code, how you can write scripts. So that's the simplest way how you can do. Simply you have to give us script here. I already have told you, I think this one, script. Okay, and inside that you can just write the script whatever you want to write. Okay, suppose I can, okay, I don't want to write echo here, I just want to call the method. Which method? Scan method. This is the scanning stage. I can write the scan method here. So scan, the method calling is simple, scan. There is no semicolon, nothing is given. So only just scan and bracket, that's all. Okay, now similarly for build, you can call the build method here. Okay, so you can add the deploy method. So what happens here, suppose tomorrow you and some other persons are working a different project, and you also want to add the build method in your code. You can simply go ahead and reference this library, that's all, and use the methods. Anyone can write, use this Jenkins library and these methods. Okay, you can try at your home. This is a task for you today. Just do, don't create this library by your own. You can, this is, as this is public, you can directly give reference of my Jenkins library. Okay, this my Jenkins library, you can just give it. Don't create any library in your, just try to do, you can create it, but for your understanding and purpose, just use mine whatever I have created, reference it and see whether it is working or not. That's why it says globally whoever wants to use this code, they can use it. Okay, that's the beauty of this Jenkins library. Okay, now I have created my automations. Now I've created my pipeline. This is what I needed. Let me save this one, commit changes. Okay, now my Jenkins file is ready, and it is kept under the project repo. Okay. Okay, sorry guys, there are some disturbances. Okay, so what we can do here, so I have retained all these automations and all. Okay, Jenkins file. Now I'm going to set up in the project. So the repository URL, so what we can get it, we can just go ahead and get this repositories, copy it, put the repositories here. Okay, as this is public, it will not ask for any credentials, and here I just can give all the branches. I don't want anything master, or leave it, let it only master. Okay. Okay, script path is Jenkins, like, now save it. Okay, my code is now saved. So what I created a shared library demo weekend batch. Okay, so go ahead and now build the job. So the code is building now. Let's see. Okay, pipeline is started now. Good, great. Everything went success. Good. If you see here, what it did actually, first, see, it is cloning the Jenkins library, the repositories, and getting all the methods, whatever is available inside. And here, what says, if you see the logs, first thing it says, loading library, my Jenkins library at master, because the versions we gave as master, right? So that is calling the library. So it loaded first, then got all these things. Okay, so after that it cloned the DevOps class repo, which is the your project repository, which is your project repositories. Okay, now everything is fine. You can see here, fine. Then it executed the method first, that is scan method, which is executing the scanning method, which I have written. Sorry, which I have written here, scan, right? Executing the scanning method, right? Same thing, you can find it here, executing the build method and deploy method here. So here I have just given simple echo printing commands, so you can write all the codes, whatever automations code you want, you can add everything here. Okay, so you can add it here. So guys, is clear now, or do you have any doubt, or I just move forward for multi-branch? I'll show you how to set up in the multi-branch. Okay, let me first finish the multi-branch, then we'll discuss. So here I just created a simple pipeline code, right? Now what I'm going to do, let me go ahead and set up a multi-branch pipeline job, and there where you have to set up. So in this multi-branch pipeline, what you have to do, simply just go ahead and new item, I can say as multi-branch. Okay, now just go ahead and multi-branch pipeline. Okay, you know how to create the multi-branch pipelines, and this is multi-branch pipeline only, most of every companies, okay, all the companies, they work on multi-branch pipelines. I explained what is the usage of this multi-branch pipeline and what is the benefits. I already discussed in the last classes. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, the branch sources, in the branch sources tab, I'm going to add the source code management, from where I'm going to get the projects. Okay, so branch source as git So the project repositories is nothing but this DevOps class. Suppose I'm going to give this one. Okay, just go ahead and put it here. Now this is done. So all branches, same properties, that is fine. And what I'm going to do here, scan. So here the behavior, I'm just going to add one new behavior. Like let's add it here. Okay, the behavior is start. Let it pull everything. No problem. So now build configurations by Jenkins file. That's because we are running the pipeline code, right? Now, the last sections, you can see it here, the pipeline libraries, the tab is there, pipeline libraries. Go here, and in this pipeline libraries, whatever we did for pipeline, we did set off in the manage Jenkins, right? The same thing, instead of doing in the manage Jenkins and system configurations, we can just call this directly here also. Same thing also, you can hear modern SCM and all, you can find it here. Okay, so let me add that one. So in the pipeline libraries, so here we have to provide the library. So what is the library one? The Jenkins SAR library, right? My Jenkins SAR library. Same thing, just give a name to that. Okay, just give a name. Default version, I'll give as master, model, git, repository. So it is, I'm doing the double times for you so that it will remember all this. Okay, got it. And nothing is required, let it be there. So just save it. Now, as you know, when you create a multi-branch project, it will first scan the pipelines. So when it will scan, it will find like we have three branches, day 1.1, 1.0 and master. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the job here. See, we can see here we have three. In this project we have three branches, so we are targeting on the master one only. Okay, so go to the master and first see when scan, it finds everything and it will execute the job. So it is executed and it is success now. Okay, now let me build it again. So you can see the stages. Code, first thing is code scanning, then build, then deploy. Okay, so it is success now. If you go ahead and check, see, same thing also happened. Now you learn how to set off this, how to create Jenkins SAR library, then how we can set off this Jenkins library in our project. Okay, suppose tomorrow or today when you are doing the practice, just reference this Jenkins library in your project and see how it works. Okay, so that's all about this Jenkins library. And if you have any doubt or anything, we can discuss now.
Ranjit.
Yeah.
Okay, I have small doubt about multi-branch pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, shared library, okay, but still some confusion about multi-branch pipeline.
Okay, yeah. So what is the confusion? Tell me.
No, actually, you have in shared library pipeline also you have copied, you have mentioned as name as Jenkins library and default version, branch, retrieval method, modern SCM, project repository, Git URL.
Yeah.
Same thing, everything you had done.
Okay. So that
But in multi-branch also you have done same thing.
that's why I told when I just started. I told you can give there or you can give here. So anyone. Okay. So let me remove your confusion. Let me just fix it. Okay, what I'm going to do now, let's delete whatever. So I'm going to just clear his confusion. Okay, so manage Jenkins, let me remove this. I don't want this configuration system. If I'm going to do multi-branch, I don't have to fix, not necessary to set up this pipeline library here itself. Okay, so that's why I told you can either set up there or here. As I have already set up here, I did not delete it. Let me delete it, this library. Okay, so I have set up here. Let me delete this. Okay, now it is deleted. Save it. Fine. So I removed from the manage Jenkins, but I have still I have this whatever is set up in this master in this if you go to configure the multi-branch pipeline, this library is referenced here itself. Okay, now I removed from the manage Jenkins, it is referenced here. That is why I showed you, if you are only running the pipeline job, then you have to go ahead and set up in the manage Jenkins. That is why I showed you first the pipeline job, because you have to set up, because pipeline job does not have this pipeline tab in the pipeline library sections in the pipeline simple pipeline job. Okay, so you have to set up in the manage Jenkins and system configurations. But the multi-branch pipeline already has a tab, and that you can add it here. Okay, now it has, I have added it here. I removed from the manage Jenkins. Let me execute this job now. Okay, let's see what is happening. Just go to the master, build now. So it is completed. See, it is executing because the setup is done in the multi-branch, not in the manage Jenkins configurations. But if you see, if you execute that job, which one? The pipeline job which we had created, right? That will fail. That will not get referenced. Okay, let's see. Share library demo, right? So let's see, execute it. See, it is failed. Why? Because I removed from system configurations. It did not find anything. It will say loading library failed because it did not find any library. And I specifically mentioned the library based on this multi-branch pipeline project. I did not add in the globally. Okay. So if you want to mention this in the globally, you can simply add it there. Okay. So is it clear, Venkat?
Yes, yes, now it's clear.
Okay, guys. So do you have any other doubts so that we can just discuss, or we can move on to different topics now?
Also, one more small doubt. Here you have created where Groovy methods in one repository and Jenkins files in another repository.
Yeah.
So you are calling from there to here.
Yes.
Can we create Jenkins files in the same repository, like Jenkins shared library there
No.
itself?
No. So I think still you did not understand the purpose of Jenkins library. Why we need the Jenkins library? You did not understand, I think.
Because you are making it global so that others can also use.
Yes. So the Jenkins
Mm,
file you have to write based on the project requirement. Jenkins library is the global code which can be referenced anywhere.
mm,
So if you put Jenkins file
mm,
there, that means you are making it only Jenkins file, because we cannot run the Jenkins file there anyway. So if you are going to add the Jenkins file, that will be executed. No doubt that will be executed, but that's no point of adding there, right? So we'll Jenkins file where we'll add in our project, which project we are going to automate. But and this Jenkins library is the library code that will be globally referenced anywhere in the Jenkins file in the pipeline. Okay.
Okay, okay.
mm.
Actually, I joined 10 minutes late, so I didn't
Oh, okay, okay,
listen that.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Uh,
Ranjit,
so
one
Ranjit,
thing
uh,
in
hey,
one
please go
thing,
ahead.
what I'm asking in Jenkins library, shell library, in project part, what are things can be adopted in Jenkins library? In example, can you give what type of files that can be in Jenkins library
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we
I
can shared
got your
library
point.
can
In the shared library, what kind of functions or what kind of uh, things can be
yeah
added?
methods
Okay.
yeah
Acha. Okay. So see, that's again I told you based on your project requirement. If your project
requirement
required
yeah
a,
that I know but
yeah, if your project required a scanning, then you can create a scan method. If your project required a build, in build also you will have different mechanisms. Like, are you building a database project or database code? Are you building a Java code? Are you building a MS build code? Are you building anything Python? You can create different. Okay, let me add as per Sivram's request. That's a very nice questions and nice understanding also. People will understand good. Okay, suppose tomorrow I have different projects in my company. Okay, I want to make a different means library global codes which can be used all the projects, right? Suppose we have few projects which is Java projects and Java build is required. So what I can do here, Java, I can create as Java underscore build dot groovy. That means this groovy can be built only the Java methods. Okay, sorry, Java projects, right? So that's why I have to write the methods. Suppose call here, let's building Java project. Okay, and what you can do here, you can just call mbn the code, right? The remember the code is the mbn is the command, then clean install. That is the code. Here I wrote the real code now. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I install the Java build.groovy. Okay. Now let me save it. Got it. This is for Java build. Now I'm going to create another file for .NET build. What I can do, I can just create ms build.groovy. Okay, ms build.groovy. I just called building.NET project. Okay, and so here you can give the real command for ms build and the required parameters. The required parameters you can provide it. So I don't have all these ms build parameters, so I'm not going to give it. So ms build you can do that and give the required parameter for .NET projects. Okay, now let's save it. So now I created, I have built a common build. One is common build. This is for Java related build, and this is for .NET build. Similarly, you can create for one Python, for Oral, or for any other things, whatever you need to do that. Okay, now let me implement this in a different project, in a new project. Okay.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello. Is there any noise coming from the? Okay, fine. So what we can do here, simply go to dashboard. What I'm going to do, so let's add. Okay, now what I have to do, as I deleted from the system configurations, I can add it, or I can create a different project also here. State new projects called uh, mm, Jenkins library multi-branch weekend batch 2. Let's do that now, multi-branch. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a Java project. I'm going to build a Java project now. So what I'm going to do here, simply go to the branch sources, add source, git, give the project name. So which project I want, suppose I'll go to build a real Java project now. Okay, so DevOps wave, which is our the one. So let's go ahead and get the code. So before that, we have to write the Jenkins file. Okay, suppose I am going to work on this feature Jenkins file branch. Okay, so let's go ahead, or I can create one more branch. I can create one more branch from this Jenkins file. So let's go ahead and create branch called feature. I can give us live, simply any name. Okay, library live, I gave feature live. Okay, just create it. I'm going to create the Jenkins file. So I don't need all these details, right? So agent I can give as non. Okay. So tools and everything. This is I'm going to execute the from the Groovy methods, right? From the global library. So I don't need all this.
Library.
Removed it.
Mhm.
So okay. So what else we don't need? We don't need, suppose, okay, let it be the deploy is there, and we don't need this step. I have to remove all this which is hard coded here. Which is hard coded here. I'm going to remove everything. So here also I'll remove everything. I'll just clean it. Let's clean everything. Okay. Good. Let's start adding it. So what thing is, first thing is we'll add a script. Okay. So scanning, I can call the scan method. Okay. And here build, I can kill, suppose this is a Java build. Okay. I can just give a name as Java build. Anything you can give a only build, a Java build, XYZ, whatever. But the step should be, we are calling the Java build method, Java underscore build, right? Got it. Now deploy to staging. I just add one. Deploy. Okay. So guys, are you watching all this? All done, right? Is there any mistake? All good now, right? Okay, I can save it now. But there is a mistake actually. Here it should be under the script snippet, right? It should be under the script, but I just added in the steps. That is the mistake I did it. Okay, script.
Mhm.
Okay, chalo. Now all done. For deep see.
And Ranjit,
Yeah, please.
this shared library at the beginning you need to add, no?
Exactly. That's
Or
also,
already added.
yeah. Again, that is also miss. Okay, but
Made.
again, it will fail if you don't add it. If you don't add it, it will.
Correct.
Okay, so let me add. That is the best, very important, because any project you are going to add, first thing is at the beginning you have to load the library files. We are going to reference library. Okay, inside that we can add the, what is that one? My side library, my Jenkins side library, right? My Jenkins side library. Okay, my Jenkins side library. So I'm referencing this one. I did not change anything here. I simply, any project you can just reference this, okay, and use it. Okay, now let's commit changes. I did the changes committed now. So here in the leave branch, I have all the project folders required, and my Jenkins files also ready. My Jenkins file also ready now. Okay, so let's set up this one. Now the project repository, my Jenkins file is ready. So just go ahead and copy this now. So add branches with wildcard star, that's fine. Jenkins file, and then directly come to pipeline libraries and hit here, give a name. Sorry. So library name is the library version, master version. Okay. Now modern SCM, Git, project repository.
Ranjit, version, we created another version, no?
No, Jenkins library, we have only one
Master.
version, master only. I'm using the Jenkins.
Oh, okay.
This is the multi-branch one. Okay, I'm
Okay.
using only single versions now, master versions. Okay, so this is adding pipeline library,
Okay.
not the project. Okay, so here just give one.
Okay, got it.
Now everything is done. So see, it is scanning now. So it found a lot more branches now. Let's go to the project and you'll see how many branches now. Feature 1.1, Jenkins file, leave, RKS, master. So what are we are going to work on this featured library, right?
Live.
See, feature leaf.
Mhm.
So our master has taken, see, all these jobs has automatically taken and few are waiting because all branches it executed, right? One it is just executing. So I don't want all this, so let me remove. I can turn it. No worries, let it run. Anyway, if it is run because the master is overloaded, right? So I don't want this, just remove this all. I aborted everything. Okay. I can now build this now. So what I can do, I can see here 5 branches are there in multi-branch job. So I'm going to work on the featured library UI. Okay, I am working on feature leaf. So here what I'm going to do, just execute now. Okay, just execute now. So build now. Already it is failed. So it will fail again, I think. Okay. So if I go here, let's see why it is failed. So what happens here? Executing the scanning method. See, I just referenced the method which is already existing here. I just scanned the methods which are already existing here. Scan method, I called it, right? So you can see here scanning, building Java project. Okay, and here, okay, so building Java project itself, it failed. Why it is failed? Because we had given MVN. Where is that MVN? No such property clean for classes, right? So that means why it is failed.
Ambient clean we gave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ambient clean we gave, right, in our code. That means we have to now fix it. Why it is failed? Because our Java build, that script, this method is having some issues. Okay, where you can find it, you can see the clean for class is not on, and you can see here Java underscore build Groovy number 3, it has some error. So you just can go directly to Java underscore build and number 3, it is having some problem. Okay, now let me fix it. So it's as it is, our environment is Unix environment. Okay, so it's better to give sh. Okay, add it here and we'll click. Let's see if it is running or not. Now let's go ahead, go to feature library, feature leaf, build now. So if it's failed again, it could be the problem of it's not able to find it this MVN. Attempt to execute the step isn't not specified. Is your specific your own node. Okay. Now I can specify the node as any. Okay. So where I have to change it in the Jenkins file of the project. Here I have given none. Okay. So let's add it as agent any. Remove this comment and comment agent, any agent, available agent, it will update, execute, right? So these are the failures. See guys, you'll be experience and practice when you get more failures, and you try to troubleshoot the part, you'll get more experience. Okay, so better make sure that you, whatever you are building, it breaks. You'll be happy that it is breaking and you'll try to fix it. Don't get frustrated. First thing is, don't get frustrated when it is failing. Remember, whatever the project we do or people are doing, after multiple failures we'll see one success. Even 100 times, 200 times, 500 times a build will fail, then it will get success. Okay, so you have to be keep patience and do it. Just try to fix it by seeing the logs and try to fix the build by writing, changing the code or fixing it. Okay, so now let's build it again. Let's see what is happening. Now it is just checking out. Again it is failed. So we see, it is sure that we have some problem with the code whatever we have written. So what it did, it just added all these things. Building Java project. See, ambient command not found. Ambient command is not found. So that is okay, because see, ambient clean install, this is not available in this project. Maybe it is not working. So whenever we are working on any Java project, make sure how you have to first get how your developers building. It is just I simply added this command based on our Jenkins file, whatever we have written before, right? So I just added that. But if you see the Jenkins file, whatever is written, it is in a different way. Let's fix it, okay? So if you go to the Jenkins file branch, you'll see here we have used tools as Maven. That must be there. That's why it did not found the avian command. That is how we have to see it. Anybody had this in mind? No, right? So because ambient command it did not find, that's why it failed, because we did not mention any tool to be built in our Jenkins file. So now I'm going to mention this tool in our Jenkins file. I'm going to work in the library here, just mention the tool, because this tool is the Maven tool I'm going to work on, right? Commit changes. Got it? Let's execute again. Okay. Let's see. So it is selective scan. Java build is going on, still going on, no failure. See, it is success now. After multiple failure, we tried to fix it by seeing the log, what mistake we have done, then I fixed it, right? You can see here, our build is success. See, good, build success. So what I did, just simply, yes, not committed, commit changes. Okay, so if you see here, simply added this method, and here simple changes the tools, local Maven I'm going to use, and the scripts. Any changes you want to do with relate to build, you can just simply do it here. Let me build it again and see. Yeah, it's going through that, it will again success. See? Okay.
Yeah.
So why it is not committing? I committed, right? Committed since we started. Okay, fine. So so it's clear, guys. Now whatever we just did, everything is completely real time, and what we work in our company. Okay? So this is how we work, and you got end to end of Jenkins now, and you should be at least up to intermediate level. You should have until now, right? So just go home today, do practice of Jenkins library, and it will be actually fun. Try to fix it whatever error you are getting. See, now after multiple 5 failures or 5 failures, we got succeeded at 6. You may get failed up to 10 times. Again, you may able to fix it within the first build itself, right? If not fixed it, wait for the multiple failures. If the try to fix by yourself. Okay, just watch the video. If you are not uh, confident or don't remember what steps you need to add it, watch the video once, try to do by yourself, and make sure whatever you are doing, you understand, you have some understanding on that, and you understand clearly what you are doing. Okay. Okay, guys, so any doubt or anything further we need to discuss? I think everybody
Yeah,
should
Ranjit.
share shared library now, right?
Uh-huh.
Good. Nice.
So Ranjit,
Yeah.
we put into the var folder.
Mm-hmm.
So likewise, source also we can do same way, no? Source,
Yeah.
what it
So
should contain actually?
the source folder, what is it in the source folder, right? What we discussed, the source folder should contains the added functionality. Whatever the added functionality, if you want to add it, you can add it in the source folder, and the resource folder, if you need any kind of informations to put, you can just put it. But mostly, see, that is, I told you it's optional, it's not required, right? So if you see this my Jenkins library, I have only one folder. I have not other folders. So if you want to add some
Create,
information, so you can add it there, or else you can just ignore it, no problem. Okay, it's optional. Okay,
oh,
now
okay, okay. So usually it will be only one folder, or
task folder, yeah.
means like real time what you are working, no? So it will be only var, or
It will be
source
only
also will be
it will
there.
be only words, and it will have different folder mechanisms. So it has different strategy also. See, my whatever we are working, we are having multiple strategies. So this is one of the strategy I
Uh-huh.
explained to you. Okay, so there are multiple strategies.
Okay, okay.
So when you work in the companies, you can just create by your folder structure by company's policy. My company, we are working this folder structure wise, and we have different templating engine. We have different structures also. Okay, so
Okay,
different
okay.
language we are using. So different. That's why
Mhm.
the company standard they are using. Different company has different standard, different way of doing automation. Different way of doing
Mm.
automations. Okay, so you can do it. Okay, guys.
Okay, okay.
So we are just planning to finish all this today. So we have a little more time available. So what we can do, we can just quickly move on to the S3 part, sorry, the Artifactory part. Okay. Now today I'm going to make our S3 bucket as the Artifactory. Okay. We are going to build the project and deliver the artifacts into the Artifactory. Okay. So Artifactory will be nothing but our S3 bucket. Okay. So let's see how we can do it. So before that, we should have the S3 bucket created in our S3. Okay, so let's go ahead and check S3. Okay, I'll just explain you maybe today, and I'll give you a task to you. Okay. um, okay, so 1 second. Reverse class. Okay. Okay, so here I have created already a bucket. Okay, I already have created a bucket DevOps web.ansible. This is a bucket where I'm going to load my Artifactory into this bucket. Okay, and you guys already know how to create the buckets and all in AWS S3, and how you can practice. That's why always, guys, I'm telling you, do practice. Even you have completed AWS already, don't forget to practice. If you practice tomorrow, today, I guarantee you today you'll not able to create this bucket and give appropriate permissions and all, because you already have forgotten maybe, right? So always do practice.
Yeah, correct.
Always do practice. Okay. So if you don't do, nobody can help you. Okay, fine. So that's I created here. The bucket is there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create the first. What we need, let me just explain. I have just PowerPoint created for that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, sorry, we are going to upload the artifacts into S3 bucket. So here the integrations of AWS S3 into Jenkins server. Okay, Jenkins server and the S3 integrations. So first, what we need, first thing is to create a bucket in AWS S3 and create a role and provide S3 full access. So we have to create a role also. So I already have created a bucket. I'm not going to show you how to create the bucket. Now I'm going to see the roles. So guys, can anybody answer you where I can find the role in which services? This is a question for you.
IAM, IAM.
Yes, IAM. Okay. In the IAM, we can find the roles. Just go ahead, go to IAM. Okay, so I have 13 roles created. So let's see if any roles which has S3 full access. Okay, they have, see guys, they have now modified their dashboard. It's looking very good actually. Wow, it's really looking good. They have user groups with 5 users roles 13. So they have modified the dashboard. Introducing the new IAM dashboard experience. Okay, good. Now roles 13, just go here. So I have role called S3 full access. It's like I gave us S3 full access. You can give any name, not a problem. Okay. Suppose S3 full access. Okay. Or S3 read access or whatever you want. I just created S3 full access, no problem. So what I'm going to do now, let's go ahead and do the setups. So as for that, what we need, create bucket, we created, create a role, we created and gave full S3 access. Next is Next is install a plugin. This is very important. To work with S3, you need to install the required plugin. There is a plugin named as S3 Publisher plugin. Okay, go ahead and go to Manage Jenkins, Manage Plugin, go to Available and search for S3 Publisher. I already have installed, I believe. Let me go and check in the installed section. If I give S3 Publisher or simply give S3 yeah, so I have S3 Publisher is already, this plugin is to upload files into Amazon S3 buckets, Amazon S3 buckets, S3 Publisher. It's already added. So that's why you have to just install the S3 Publisher. Okay. Next, what we have to do, once you install the S3 Publishers, you have to go ahead and create a job. Let me show you. So I have created a job. Let me show you that one and I'll give a task for you to do that one. Okay. So here I have a job is created. Let's see what is that. I just created a job name is called Jenkins Java and S3. What setup is required to be done? Okay. Simple things. The project DevOps web, that is the project which I am building it. Simple things. Okay. The project management, once when we need guys, can anybody tell when we need, in which step is required to be artifacts to be uploaded into the artifactory, in which step?
Post build. Post build.
Yes, the post build action, it should be added in the post build action, because the once the build is done, we'll create, once the build is done, what will happen? Once the
You have to
build is
place the
successful,
binary in
Binary
artifact.
file will create it.
yes, the binary files which is called as artifacts will be created, and that we need to upload into one artifact, right? So that will be done in the post build section. So let's go ahead to the post build section. In the post build section, you can see here we have published artifacts to S3 bucket, S3 profile here. So okay, before that, let me show you to set up this S3 profile, where to set up. Okay, so before that, first thing is you have to install the plugin S3 Publisher. Once you install, you have to come to Manage Jenkins. Okay, configure system, and you have to provide the role whatever you have created here. Okay, so that bucket name and all, sorry, the profile name you have to create, S3 profile you have to create it. So let's search for this S3 and you'll see.
Hello.
One second, guys. I'm on another call. 1 second. Okay, guys. So what you have to do? We have to first set up the Amazon S3 profile. Okay. So if you see here, the S3 profile setup is done, and here I have just created a profile name is called S3 artifacts. Then you can use the use IAM role. You can click on the use IAM role and provide the access key. So guys, can anybody tell apart from Madi? Madi is, I think Madi knows everything all related to this. So where I can get this access key? Access key and secret key, where can I get this? All, I think all guys have gone through this AWS
Security.
course, right?
In IAM, mm,
Okay, I
Ranjit.
am where? What object?
Security or something. Yeah.
No. I from IAM, what Jitu or Tofan said, what I am, but which section I am will get it. Okay, Madi. Hello.
Yes, Ranjit. From the actually, can you go to that IAM role, Ranjit? From that, I can guess. I will tell you. Go to S3 and
Yes. Uh, yes.
okay. Scroll down a little bit.
Nothing is there.
Scroll.
They have changed the dashboard now.
Okay, okay. From setting report under settings.
See,
User.
we have this, suppose from this four, where I can get this access key.
Policies,
Policies.
policies.
No, guys. Everyone forgets everything. Okay.
Identity providers and users.
Users, we will get it from the users. So when we create
User.
new users, you will get the access key. So if you select programmatic access, then you will get the programmatic access key and secret key. If you are getting only console access, then you will not get this I already have explained you guys, right? So when you give the programmatic access, you will get the access key and the secret key. That is what we need when you create the user. That you have to save it, and then you need to set up all this in the profile at give any name. This is name I gave it, you can give by your name. Okay, and give it and use IAM role, just provide the access key and all. Okay, that's all. Once you do it, save that one in the system configuration. Remember, once you install the S3 publisher, you will get Amazon S3 profile in the configuration setup. Okay, now I'm not going to do that, already done. So then what do you have to do? Just go to this configurations post build section. In the post build sections, what you'll get it, if you go click here in the post build section, you'll find one called publish artifacts to S3 bucket. How you'll get this one? Once you install that plugin, you will get this option added here in the post build section. Just click this one, publish artifacts to S3 bucket. Once it is done, you'll get this window, this page, these sections added here, and you'll get this S3 profile, whatever we set up here in the system configurations, S3 artifact, and which file you want to upload. I will suppose upload the war file. Simply /star.war and exclude which, if you want to add any folder or want to exclude it, you just give it here. Next, destination bucket. You have to give the bucket name. Here the bucket name I have given, suppose DevOps web.ansible. That is the bucket which is created, right? Just go to S3. Okay, So DevOps web.ansible is already the bucket is created and it has public access also. Okay, I've given the can be public. Okay, that's fine. So here standard and bucket region, you just provide the bucket region and all simple. That's all, and then save it. Okay, then save it. Only you have to add the post build section and then save it. Okay, so this is how you have to set up the job, and this is a task for you today. The job project is over now. Jenkins over today. You just do practice Jenkins library, and there is a task. Do by yourself this one. Whatever I just explained you, I explained each step of S3 upload. Though I did not execute it and uploaded the file, I just explained everything, all the steps. This is a task for you. Go home today, do practice all this Artifactory upload. Then we can discuss in our next classes if any doubt. Okay, so all Jenkins are over now. So further Docker integration and Ansible integration, that the advanced course of Jenkins, that also I'll show you as of the project. Okay, so once we cover Docker and Ansible, then we'll cover that one. Okay, so tomorrow classes will start with Ansible and will not delay because it is already delayed. Okay, it is already delayed. We'll just, because I'm giving sharing everything to you, that's why it's taking more time. Next forward, we'll just move forward quickly so that we can finish this course.
ଯାଉରେ ସବୁ ଦିନ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଲେଟ୍ ହଉଛି ଜାଣିପାରୁନି
Sorry, whoever is not speaking, please mute. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do here now, okay, when we started this class, I think January, right? Sorry, July. So we finished AWS August, September, October, November. Oops. So we are targeting to finish at least within December. This year we'll finish this December, at least we'll finish this course. Okay, that's why I'm planning to move little quicker. So whatever I'm giving totally from basic to advanced I'm giving, and that is taking more time to complete it. So now, going forward, I'll just move little smoother, faster. Okay, so that you have to be, because see Jenkins, which I targeted you to cover, like Jenkins has more demand and it has more requirements, so that I gave complete details about Jenkins now. Okay, it's up to you how you take it and do practice. Okay, next classes will start with Ansible and we'll try to finish in the 2 weeks. 4 classes will finish Jenkins, sorry, Ansible. 4 classes will finish Ansible, and then we will quickly move forward. Okay. Okay, guys. So, do you have any doubt? We can discuss now, or we can wind up this call and we'll connect tomorrow with Ansible. Okay.